We'll be across all the games on the final day, by the way, on Bank Holiday Monday. 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship, 12:30 in League Two. Let's drop into League One, though, where Plymouth Argyle and Ipswich have both won automatic promotion. We'll talk about Plymouth in a moment, but for Ipswich under Kieran McKenna, it marks a return to the Championship after 4 seasons away. Earlier, I spoke to defender Luke Woolfenden and asked him what the celebrations have been like.
Thank you. They've been quite special, really. I think, like you said, it's been 4 really long seasons, and it's not really sunk in yet. I think it's one of them things that will probably feel more real over the summer. But if it's brilliant, it really is. You know, my hometown club, to get promoted with them, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, you are an Ipswich boy, born and bred. Does it make it even more special, your first trophy with your football club?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, like even going out in the town after we had confirmed promotion, you know, the amount of people that I already know and the sense of pride that I had within myself is just amazing.
And in terms of the manager, 18 months into the job, it feels like he's really transformed the club top to bottom. What's the experience been like for you as a player?
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of him, really. I think he's come in 18 months, his first professional job, and the standard of everything has just been driven by him and his coaching staff. And it really has been top drawer, you know, stone gets left unturned. All the boys, regardless of whether they're playing or not, would speak so highly of him. So, yeah, it really has been unbelievable with everyone around the place.
It felt for a while that there was just such a bad energy, a bad aura about the place. But right now, genuinely, it's positive vibes all round.
Yeah, I think you'd probably be right to say that. You know, I think I've been here since I was 12. And honestly, it has probably just been mostly negative throughout that whole period. But like I said, now that's all changed. And I think even looking into the Championship, we're very positive about what we can do in that league next season. So, yeah, times have really changed around the place.
What made it happen this season? Last season, finishing 11th with Kieran, it feels sort of finding his feet. What changed for you guys and what made promotion possible rather than the playoffs?
I think we always had that belief from within. I think we knew that obviously last year we had a tough start. No one was really sure what was what. We had a lot of new faces coming in with a lot of bodies that probably didn't suit the way that the old manager wanted to play. Probably didn't understand the way that we wanted to play, but Gaffer's come in, he's turned the club around and everyone's on the same page, everyone knows what's what, and we're working together as one massive family, really, and it really is like that around the training ground at the minute.
How good and how important was that run around February? The massive run of 9 clean sheets in a row. It felt as though that sort of catapulted you into the promotion places, and then you just basically went into every game, sort of trying to smash people up, and that's what you did.
Yeah, I think before that patch was probably a bit of a sticky patch where we'd probably drawn too many and everyone was saying, oh, that we're falling away and we're going to have to settle for playoff places. But we never really felt that from within the group. The clean sheets that we certain we've worked hard for all season and getting 9 in a row really installed the confidence in us that every game we'd go out knowing that we'd only have to score one goal and we'd have won. So 9 times out of 10 when we got that first goal, the confidence was just flowing and we'd end up rolling a lot of teams over.
Do you feel that there's been maybe extra pressure on you guys because of the club's rich history? Everyone talks about the days, and I know the UEFA Cup win, the FA Cup, the days of Sir Bobby Robson and co. Even the Premier League days under George Burley, people look at that and will always reminisce. But it feels as though sort of the history really sat heavy on the shoulders of a lot of people for a while.
Yeah, I think if you've ever been to Ipswich, the only thing in Ipswich is probably the football club. So if you come here, you know that you've got to perform and everyone around the town will be obviously wanting you to do well, but within that comes an expectation that you have to succeed and a lot of pressure comes with that. And I think probably the last 7, 8 years we haven't managed to deal with that, but hopefully now that we've got that first promotion we can kick on and start installing some winning feeling back into the town.
40 points from the last available 42, but in and amongst that, Connor Chaplin has managed to overtake Johnson Clark Harris in the race for the League One Golden Boot. Talk to us about him and the quality in attack that you've got, because it's not just him. You've got Freddie Ledapo, Marcus Harness, Wes Burns has played his part as well. Going forward, you are a formidable unit.
Yeah, I think Chappers is probably the main name with scoring a lot of goals, and it seems that most games he'll end up getting about 3 or 4 clear-cut chances, which speaks numbers of him really, because you know the ball falls to him in the box, and that's a great sign to have in a striker. But obviously, even like you've just mentioned yourself there, like we've got Ladapo, we've got Wes, we've got Marcus, and obviously Broadhead. So I think when you've got options like that in attack, it really does help because, teams, you can't just sit there and think, right, if you stop him, you stop the team because we've got that many options that it is really hard to stop.
Talk to me about training this week. Look, there's still the small matter of the title on the line. Has training been relaxed? Have you been sort of given the opportunity to get a bit of rest in, to enjoy yourselves, to let go a bit? Or is it still very much focus on the job?
I think there's probably been a mixture of both in there. I think we had the celebrations over the course of the weekend, but right now I think the focus from everyone in the team is that we want to win the league, and we know it's going to be difficult because we know it's not in our hands, but obviously everyone will be going to Fleetwood looking to get the 3 points so that we can at least give ourselves the best possible chance of finishing number one.
And one more for you, the East Anglian derby next season, Ipswich-Norwich. It's going to happen. It's going to happen twice at least. As a local lad, how excited are you for that?
Oh yeah, it was probably, after getting promoted, it's probably the most exciting thing for me that I knew was going to happen because I've been wanting to play in that game since I made my debut at about 17. So yeah, obviously, especially being a local lad, it is really important that that feeling is known from within the group of how big a derby it is. And actually, to be fair to Norwich, they've probably had the better of it over the last 10, 12 years. So time to turn them ties around.
Great speaking to Luke Woolfenden on 72 Plus. The old farm derby is back. I'd rather call it Farmageddon, but yeah, so Ipswich Town, they're back in the Championship. We'll react to that a bit more in a moment, but first, let's head back to the Emirates. John Murray.
Into the last 10 minutes here, Arsenal still leading Chelsea by 3 goals to 1. It was 3-0 at half-time, 2 goals for Odegaard, 1 for Gabriel Jesus. They could easily have got another one early in the second half, but Noni Madueke with only his first goal for Chelsea, and indeed only the second goal that Chelsea have scored under Frank Lampard since he came back to the club. And Chelsea, Mark Schwarzer, have changed all of their front positions now. So Ziyech's just come on the right, Kai Havertz now through the middle, Conor Gallagher playing as the number 10, and Mikhailo Mudryk coming on as well. When it appeared in January he was going to move to Arsenal, instead a huge sum took him to Chelsea instead. And were Chelsea able to get another one,
yeah, absolutely, the game would certainly be a very interesting finish ahead of us. However, that's still a long way away. I mean, Chelsea did score from nothing, but they're seeming like a long way away from getting back into this game. Arsenal at the moment seem relatively comfortable.
So Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1, and 9 minutes plus added time to go before Arsenal will be back on top of the Premier League table.
John, Mark, thank you for the moment. In tonight's National League playoff eliminator game, it's Barnet 1, Bournemouth 2. They are now in second half stoppage time. The winner will play Notts County in the semis on Sunday. Back to Ipswich Town. They're in the Championship. Luke Woolfenden sounding very, very relaxed, knowing that the hard work is done, even if the title is still on the line, Cameron.
Yeah, that's a fantastic position to be in. Themselves and Plymouth, they can, go into the games on the weekend just knowing that freedom. It's playing with freedom, and Ipswich have been free flowing for the last sort of 6, 7, 8 games, scoring in bundles of goals, keeping clean sheets, and Plymouth have just found a way every game. They've been behind in games, been drawing games, they've scored a lot of late goals, and testament to both sides. To have that consistency throughout the season. Fair play to them.
Danny, it's really admirable to see how Kieran McKenna's worked, because it's not just the results on the pitch, but off the pitch. I talked about the good vibes, the good energy. Ipswich was a really miserable place to go to. There, I've said it. It was really, really depressing, really miserable. Everyone was on a bit of a downer. Right now, though, I can't get enough of it. I genuinely think he's transformed the complete attitude of the club. And there's credit that's got to be due to the owners as well, the new owners.
Yeah, I think so. I think for me, incredible season. Probably the best League One team that I've seen in my lifetime, certainly as a manager. And, I think 99 goals. I think their goal difference is plus 66. And to think that Plymouth are actually a point in front of them says everything about Stephen Schumacher as far as I'm concerned, because like I said, for me, Ipswich, an outstanding manager, an outstanding team. And if Plymouth can find a way of beating Port Vale on Sunday, then they will end up winning League One, which will be an unbelievable achievement for them. And particularly when you look at their finance and their budget, if you look actually at value add, I think Stephen Schumacher, for me, I think he was really well deserving of the Manager of the Year award in that division.
some really impressive candidates for that Manager of the Year award, and some really impressive human beings going about their business and really transforming and working hard with football clubs. Cameron, we've got to talk Plymouth in a moment. I've got to ask you though, you took on Ipswich in the midst of that run of pure clean sheets, which I call, I mean, the 9 games and 9 clean sheets, it was genuinely very, very impressive. What were they like when they came up to the Unibowl?
Really good, really efficient. In all honesty, the game swung on pivotal moments. Both goals, they scored just before half-time. Really good finish by Hurst. Great counter-attacking move from Ipswich. And we missed the penalty just after half-time as we was getting a little bit of momentum. And then they went up the other end and scored from a set-piece. But once they got a 2-goal lead, they just managed the game brilliantly. Sam Moore's in midfield. They had Broadhead, Chaplin. They brought on Delapo. You know, they had abundance of quality coming off the bench, strength and depth. And it was almost like a little bit of a feeling where that was sort of halfway through their little bit of resurgence, where they'd had the sticky period and this was them clicking into top gear that day. And they did a number on us, to be honest with you. Could have gone either way, but it was well comfortable in the end.
Machine-like is the way I've described them. I'd love to sort of coin them going forward, because that is how they play generally from back to front. They're a brilliant football team, as are Plymouth Argyle. Danny, we cannot sort of, you know, talk about the EFL and League One without, you know, chucking huge amounts of credit on the name of Stephen Schumacher and Ryan Lowe as well, because he laid the foundation. But don't forget, this was a football club who a decade ago were a point away from relegation to the National League. You look at them now, again, another club on the up, another club where on the field and off the field, there's just pure harmony. It is so good to see.
Yeah, I think another team that, Stephen Schumacher, what a brilliant job. I think the recruitment there has been outstanding for quite a period of time. I think they've been really, really intelligent, not just with their permanent signings, but also their loan signings. Their home record has been just phenomenal. I think only lost 2 games at home all season, won 20 league games at home. And when you consider that last year they got to 80 points and just missed out on the playoffs on the final day, for them to respond in the way that they did, I think Stephen made some sort of tactical tweaks in the summer. Last year they predominantly played a 3-5-2, but I think when I spoke to him, he didn't feel that against the top teams they were able to control games as well as they would have liked. So they've gone to a 3-4-2-1 system this year and predominantly played that, and that's been really, really successful for them. You know, we have to consider as well, they lost the likes of Morgan Whittaker. He went back to Swansea in January, and he was a key part of their team. Obviously lost their goalkeeper as well to a cruciate. For them to be able to deal with that and still find the relentless consistency that they have has been just brilliant, and they're so deserving of their promotion. And if they win the league, wow, what an outstanding achievement that would be.
And Danny, we've got to be fair. We've got to give him some praise while he's here. The battering they took from Cameron's Bolton at Wembley, everyone thought that would knock them off course. Cameron, jump in on this. I mean, we've got to talk about that day. It was fantastic for you guys, but a real horror show for Plymouth.
Yeah, absolutely. From our perspective, what an absolutely unbelievable day. You know, obviously our football club's been through a lot of adversity over the years, recently anyway. So just to see the fans at Wembley singing and, you know, joining in such, you know, magnificent scenes, and the performance from the boys in the day, we just overwhelmed them, smothered them. We was brilliant. Probably 4-0 flattered them, to be honest with you. And, you know, you're right. After that, everyone probably thought, oh, they could blow up here. Sheffield Wednesday was hot on their tail with a couple of games in hand. Ipswich was just starting to motor. Barnsley had a couple of games in hand and was motoring as well. So, fair play to the manager and the players down there for responding in the way they have done, because that could have easily derailed their season. But, you know, they've responded positively and they've managed to get over the line. So, you know, fair play to them on that part. And, you know, they'll be looking onwards and upwards in the Championship next year.
Just looking at the top end of League One, very quickly on the title race, Plymouth lead on 98 points, a point ahead of Ipswich on 97. Ipswich must better Plymouth's result on the final day if they're, of course, to win the title. Fleetwood are their hosts. So it's Fleetwood Town versus Ipswich. Port Vale welcome Plymouth down to up to Vale Park. Elsewhere, both teams bang in form, 5 wins in a row. Cameron, I know exactly where you're going to go with your prediction for the league title, especially with your former allegiances. Danny, where is the League One title going to go?
Well, I've been saying Ipswich all along. For me, they've always been a standout team. But I think with one game to go, Port Vale away on that big pitch with again another team with incredible athleticism, Plymouth. I just see them being able to find a way of winning that game and achieving a championship, which will just be brilliant.
We know that Cameron reckons Ipswich are going to do. I'm joking. He doesn't. He doesn't. Norwich fans, don't target him next year.